Influences with Struan Wallace. Here you go, ready?
Ready. Filming most of the time. Making content. Do a lot of all sorts of videos really. From commercials to AVPs to content for web to viral videos, music videos, anything really to do with film, I'm in it. Or I've done it. Tried it at least. Tried it at least once. Oh, I do a lot of traveling too, but the beauty is I do a lot of traveling for work. It kind of mixes both loves together. And then when I've got nothing on, I tend to come here to the lake. I spend my time here, spend it with my dogs. I do a lot of photography and I do videos when I'm here. It's basically like I kind of zen out here. It's where I'm most creative and happiest. Wake up and obviously coffee first and a healthy breakfast. And then I'll hit the gym if I have time, or I'll work out at home. And then it's down to the errands. Let's see what I got to do. When I was young, I was like, I want to be an astronaut like every kid does. And then I figured like, oh shit, I gotta be good at math. Pass on the astronaut. I want to be an architect. Also gotta be good at math. And I was like, no, not gonna do that either. And I was like, oh, I'll try something creative. I did a communications course before that because I really didn't know what to do. I went to the States and I studied in San Francisco for a summer. And then I did car design, like drawing cars and designing cars, because I grew up building, racing and modifying cars. So that's always been my passion. And the other one was multimedia. So I did all that and still didn't know what I wanted to do. I got into Australia. I did a communications course, which was so broad at communications. I did advertising and whatnot. So I went to university in Australia, in Sydney. I got into Macquarie University, and I looked through the curriculum, literally standing there on the first day, and then I saw visual production. And I love watching movies. Well, my whole life I've probably seen almost every movie out there, shitty or not, good, shitty. I enjoy movies. And you know what? I told myself, I enjoy movies. Find it kind of cool how this whole movie magic, how they put it together and they make it happen. Let's try that. And it just so happened that I was good at it. I kind of just fell into it. I had a knack for it. Yeah, because the world's beautiful. Every different country I go to, every different place, even in the Philippines, every spot I go to has something beautiful to offer and see. And I like to think I see things differently from other people. So I see something and it may be a leaf or a tree, but to me it's beautiful. And then we compose it and stuff. And so I just like people to see things the way I see it. So I guess it's like I'm sharing with the world my own interpretation of the world or the things I see around it. I love filmmaking. It's, I go to work and it never feels like, there are obviously those projects which you fucking hate, and it's pain, but no, most of the time it's a joy, especially in the field I do these days. It took a long time to get there, but it's exactly where I want it to be. I actually do photography as well, but it's more of a hobby. I like it because, photography is one frame. It's one image. There are 24 images in 1 second of video. There's so much more I have to think of besides the composition, the lighting, the set design, and I like all that. And I like the technology of the gear. I love putting together kits, I love new gear. I like, just all the accessories are cool. It just makes it more fun. And like I said, because I grew up building things, so this kind of put together all of my passions. I work with a lot of talented people, and I love that because I will stand beside them and ask them or study them or ask them questions just to get things from them and, expand my repertoire. I've always been adventurous and very active as a kid and growing up, so I like to be out in the field. I like to be doing things. I was very lucky because my best friend Angie King, we started doing videos together in our teens, even before YouTube was a hit, and we'd build cars, race cars together. And eventually, when she progressed enough to be racing overseas, she brings me with her to document her stuff, and that's how it all started. So because of that, I've been to some of the best racetracks in the world. From there, obviously I got more work with other clients of Ferrari, other racing drivers. Actually also do work also for Ferrari Asia Pacific. So that's the main hub within Asia for Ferrari. That's a dream job. So like I said, I love cars, and what better brand than Ferrari? I work a lot as a one-man team. So I will do the camera work, the directing, the audio, and the lighting. I was trained that way, so it comes naturally to me. And I like being active. I get really bored if I've got nothing to do. Time passes quicker when you're doing things. And I find it easier because I know what I like, I know what I shoot, I know the image, and I even know the edit. So I shoot to edit. So I find it hard working with a lot of other people because I hate scrubbing through footage. Throughout the years, I find that it's easier for me for smaller projects or for stuff like Ferrari or cars to do it on my own or with a very small team. It's more efficient. I directed the Uncast music video. That was crazy, and we were given total freedom to do whatever we want, which is super rare, especially in the Philippines. It was my friend George's concept. If you've seen it, like, it's already crazy, it is, but we've had to cut out some parts because they were just too much and we didn't think it would pass the industry standard. But that was fun, and I like it because I like it when a client trusts you enough to give you that freedom to be creative, because most of the time they don't. I like cars because they're easy to direct. Cars were always my passion growing up. I actually started doing this to help fund my cars, but I ended up just focusing on film. And yeah, I love it. I mean, I've been lucky enough to shoot some of the nicest cars in the world and in some of the most beautiful places in the world too. Done a lot of iconic drives, done a lot of iconic racetracks. The Discovery Channel project was a dream come true because it's working for Discovery Channel. But there were a lot of hardships there also, but it was more confusion between, I guess, their end of the team and ours. And it just, like, we didn't mesh properly, I think. We were given a lot of freedom in the beginning and then later on found out that they wanted something else. So that was hard because there wasn't that much communication. My hardest projects are always client-based is what the problem is. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Discovery Channel one, the Uncast video, because that was my first viral video to hit over 1 million hits. Working for Ferrari Asia Pacific, and we did Japan, Australia, a lot of iconic spots, a lot of iconic drives. I think those were my most favorite ones. I like living on the edge. I think it's my personality is I get bored really quickly. I need something exciting. That's why I like to do a lot of things on set, because I need to keep moving, you know, otherwise my brain just keeps going everywhere. And I feel alive when I'm doing all the adventure stuff. When I know like there's a chance that I could get really hurt or I could die, that's better for me. I mean, I got hit by a drift race car in Australia when I was filming a few years ago. And I did 2 somersaults and I landed on my right shoulder. And I dislocated my shoulder all the way down here. They dragged me to the hospital and stuff. And that one, I really thought I was gonna die. It was like ground, air, ground, air, ground. And I looked and my shoulder had popped all the way down and I was like, oh shit. And it was funny because I had 2 of my best friends visiting me in Australia at the time. They come running to me and I started speaking to them in Tagalog. And all the Aussies around thought I lost my mind. Like, oh, he's speaking in gibberish, mate. You know, and I started panicking and my friends were like, no, he's speaking Tagalog. Straight out of uni, I got a job working for Video Australasia, which was a rental company in Sydney. And it was cool because in Australia, it's totally different from the Philippines. As a camera operator or a director, so if you go to a rental house and you rent the gear yourself and you take it out, you do the shoot, you bring it back at the end of the day or however long you went. So I started off prepping the gear. I learned how to work with a lot of different cameras. And then from there, they taught me how to service a lot of cameras. And then, so I was working my way up there and eventually ended up managing the place. That's when I realized I can't do 9 to 5. I go crazy. Like, I just don't like it. I get bored. I should have stability, but I guess it just bores me so much is why I went freelance. And as much as I love freelance, that's also the biggest hassle I have, you know, because sometimes I've got a lot of work, sometimes I have none. And you never know when the next paycheck's coming in. And especially here, you know, some clients take months to pay you. That's my biggest problem, really. I'm watching a lot of YouTube stuff or Instagram stuff, because, you know, the market's totally different now. We're doing now stuff for Instagram. I mean, when we first started doing portraits instead of landscape, I was like, what the fuck? It's not what I learned. You know, it's from everything I'm used to. But you get used to it, and then so my framing's different. The way I plan to shoot now is a little different. People like different things as well, so there are different interests. I am constantly trying to progress. I am never happy with where I am at. Like, I always think that I can do better. I can add a new style. So I'll see something on Instagram or YouTube and I want to try that. I want to learn how to do that, and I'll do it. When I'm bored, I don't just sit around watching TV. I'll actually go around and take photos, take videos, I'll fly my drone. It's like I'm being creative all the time, and I'm trying to progress, trying to better myself, which is cool. I always said that, you know, life goals, people go like, what do you want to leave when you die? I've always wanted to, something that I want to be remembered for something I make. These days, I'm not very good at, I'm not good at scripts or storytelling and stuff, so I'm trying to be. I'm trying to learn that more. I'm more a visual person. I'm gonna try to keep progressing and getting better. I'm going through my bucket list. I want to do a movie, but I don't know what kind. I want it to be an action movie. See, that's the thing, and I want to learn how to storytell better. Maybe do an insightful documentary or something like that. I saw this street food on Netflix recently, and that's cool. I'd like to do something like that. I feel that I'm not quite there yet, and I've got a lot of room for improvement.